At the start of 2026, there's a really strange phenomenon happening, which I find very interesting, so I want to share it. If you're considering buying an investment property in Australia, you should listen to this. You'll definitely gain some new insights. So what's this phenomenon? Right now, people in Melbourne are asking whether they can still buy in Perth, and a lot of people in Perth are asking whether they should buy now. But if you look at people who are actually in Perth, you'll notice they're really keen on buying in Melbourne. What does this mean? This morning alone, now it's lunchtime. I had 3 in-depth consultations this morning. 2 were returning clients and 1 was a new client. The 2 returning clients were people I helped buy in Perth a few years ago. One of them said something really funny. He said, "Joy, you told me it would double in 7 years, but it doubled in just 3 years, so basically, just take my money." After that, they asked me to help them find other areas with similar high potential for capital growth. Then I helped them take the next step to further diversify their investments. Now the new client was even more interesting. He was very experienced and had made money himself in Perth over the past few years, buying several properties. We didn't know each other before, but he might have seen some of my posts or shares online. So what did he say exactly? His exact words were that last year he bought a property for 800,000 and within a year it appreciated by 200,000. After this increase, the property still generates positive cash flow, so he can continue to hold on to it. As for himself, he actually has several investment properties in Perth, including the surrounding areas. He personally experienced making 200,000 in a year, and he's been doing this for over 10 years now. He went through that flat market cycle from 2010 to 2019, and even he himself now feels that it's no longer a good time to buy. Do you understand what I'm saying? Basically, this is a seasoned investor who made 200,000 on a single property in the past year, and it still has extremely high rental income and positive cash flow, yet even he feels that it's not the right market to buy in anymore. He has a sharp eye for things, so I followed up and asked him, where do you think there's potential? Basically, his values, his way of speaking, and his views are all in line with mine. He believes that Melbourne has been flat for 7 years and that right now, Melbourne is like Perth after the pandemic, just starting to show some signs of growth. It's quite interesting. For those of you watching, what's the takeaway? It's that the Australian real estate market is cyclical. When you buy property, you absolutely can't just look at last year's growth rate to predict what will happen next year, right? You need to understand that Perth's trends are traceable. Back in 2007, many people might not have come to Australia yet, many hadn't gotten their PR. In 2007, Perth's housing prices were catching up to Sydney's. So, if you had looked at its annual growth rate back then and bought into Perth, you know the current situation. Despite Perth's rising prices and Sydney's decline, Perth houses still cost a fraction of Sydney's. But back then, prices were nearly identical for Chinese buyers. History is repeating itself. The only difference is Melbourne has replaced Sydney. Perth is still the same Perth. I'm not saying Perth is bad, okay? Perth's economy has also been very strong in recent years. But after all, Australia is a developed country, and its real estate, land appreciation, and property cycles all follow certain patterns. So, for you watching this, I'm not saying that you can't buy in Perth. If you live in Perth and you're buying a home to live in, I think you can go ahead and buy confidently. But if you're considering long-term appreciation and long-term